Alright guys, so this is going to be the first episode of Ask Aaron, where I'm going to read comments and I'm going to answer your questions. Now there's 1,415 comments, so I'm obviously not going to get to everybody, but I'm going to go through as many as I can and get to as many as I can, okay? And I'm going to try and make this fast. I don't want to spend like an hour answering each question, so I hope you enjoy this video. So, first question. First, good. Second, alright. What are your sponsors? I'm sponsored by Revive Skateboards. Tips for handrails. Yeah, I'll make a whole separate video covering handrails, but the basic tip for handrails is to build yourself up to them. You can't just go up to a 10 stair and start skating it. Start skating skate park handrails first. In Skateboarding Made Simple Volume 4, I do a board slide on a handrail, and that's a whole trick tip in that video. So if you really want to learn how to skate rails, check that video out and it'll give you like a good way to progress on rails. The next one says dingus. I don't know what that means. When you first started skating, did you ever stop for a period of time then start again? No, not really. I used to skate and never got past an ollie, but because I found this channel, it has inspired me to start again. Okay, awesome. A lot of people start and then quit and give up because they get stuck on a certain trick. The reason I made Skateboarding Made Simple is so that doesn't happen. If you get the video and you do each step, you shouldn't get stuck. Because the idea is that you learn the tricks in the exact order necessary to actually learn them. So just make sure that you get the prior tricks down before you going on to the next step, and you shouldn't get stuck. So you don't have to quit. Because skating is rad, you don't want to quit. Hey Aaron, did you teach yourself skateboarding? Yeah, basically. I mean, I grew up in this very small town. There were like hardly any other skaters, and I remember when I was trying to learn how to ollie, there was nobody there to teach me, and I remember just struggling with it for quite a while, it seems like. And I remember the first day when I ollied over a hose, I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible! Hey Aaron, did you teach yourself skateboarding by YouTube, socially, or just by guessing? Thanks, man. When I started skateboarding, there was no YouTube. YouTube did not exist. So basically I taught myself as much as I could and learned from other people as I got older, and there were some other skaters. But yeah, you know, basically just by trying out and seeing what works. Do a day in my life, please. I can't do a day in your life because, oh, my life? I'm confused. Is that your son in the other video? No, that is not my son. That is my roommate's son. I live in a house with some other people, and they have a kid. His name is Julian, and he's a skater for life. What made you so interested in skateboarding? Just basically that it's fun. Skateboarding is one of those things that you don't need a lot of money to do it. You don't need a lot of things. All you have to do is get a skateboard, have your shoes on, walk outside and start rolling down the street. So that's fun, and there's, you know, infinite skateboard tricks, so you never run out of fun and things to progress on in skateboarding, which is awesome. Do you usually like freak out when you land a sweet trick because it felt so good, or do you keep it in? That's a good question. I don't usually like land it and then like go, what? I just, you know, whatever. I'm like, whoa, that was rad. So I guess to answer your question, I keep it in. You're awesome. Thank you. That was not a question, but thank you. You're awesome too. Scrolling up. How do you not get hurt when you fall from messing up a trick? Basically, the best way is like if you're gonna jump down something, you have to not try and stop your momentum, and you have to try and get your body to roll, because you have a lot of force going, and if you try to stop it, then you're gonna go. But if you try and keep the momentum going and like roll with your body or tuck and roll on the ground, your momentum will continue and it won't hurt as bad. You can just roll on the ground. So that's one way. Obviously, I do have injuries. Sometimes I do get hurt. So you gotta just be careful and build up your skateboarding as it's necessary. I don't mean like be careful, like be scared or anything like that. You don't need to be scared, but you just need to be ready for the trick that you're doing. Don't go from 1 stair to a 10 stair. Why don't you ollie a 1, then a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, a 9, and then hit the 10. After you've progressed up each level, it won't be so hard. Usually where people get hurt is they just try and take too big of a jump in between that progression gap. How long did it take you to learn kickflip, and did you ever stop skating for a while? I don't remember how long it took me to learn a kickflip, but if I had to guess, I would say through that whole progression of tricks, probably about a year. Once I started learning the harder tricks, I started progressing really fast. But as I said a little bit earlier, I didn't really have YouTube to help me. I didn't have any trick tip videos. I didn't have anybody to sit me down and say, here, move your feet like this. Kind of had to work out all that stuff on my own. I would just watch skate videos over and over and over and over and over and just trying my best to do what they did. Do you prefer bananas or pears? Because I really lie awake thinking about it. I really like pears. How important do you think Revive is to skateboarding on YouTube and the skate community as a whole? I think it's super important. I think the whole of skateboarding is changing, and Revive is a big part of that. A lot of skateboarding used to be just like what was pushed in the magazines was all you got. Now you have the whole internet, so people can push different things in the internet, and people just can kind of like whatever kind of skateboarding they like. It doesn't have to be pushed through what kind of skateboarding is pushed through the magazines, because that's all there is. When I was a kid, I would go to the grocery store and I would get the newest magazine, and that's all I had for skating. And so yeah, now it's just more open. I can get on YouTube and watch a kid's part from England, and it's rad, and I really like it because skateboarding is just more open to skateboarders creating on it. So that's all the time we have for today. If you did not get your question answered, ask it again on this video, and I'll just keep this going. So ask the questions on this video, and I'll just keep this up. If you guys like this video and you want to see me do more of these, make sure and let me know, and ask the questions again, whatever you want to know, and then I'll just keep doing this video. Make sure you guys subscribe. And thanks as always for all of your help and support.